screen for the demo. You're not showing.
Yeah, it's saying the screen recording is paused. I'm not sure what that means. Let me see. Yeah, it's saying screen recording has, yeah. So is it showing now?
Yeah.
All right, there you go.
All right, well, welcome everyone to our presentation. My name is Jared White. I'm the CIS for our project, and I will be getting our presentation started. So in beginning to describe what our product is, I wanted to start with just a simple business scenario. So if you guys imagine with me that you just started your own business selling whatever it may be, perhaps you make furniture, you sell clothes, whatever, and your business has been doing well and you've seemed to have made some really great sales and you seem to have a customer base coming along. But fast forward to a year and a half, 2 years maybe later, and you're finding that the customers you used to see regularly purchasing items from your store aren't purchasing as much. And your sales volume that you used to enjoy seemed to have diminished. And you ask yourself, well, what can I do? What is there to help me incentivize my customers to come back? And that is where our product Tommorrow's Reward comes in handy. We aim to solve the problem of incentivizing customers and augmenting your brand loyalty for businesses. So specifically, we are a web application where businesses can conduct and sell their products and services and reward customers who take part in it and buy from them. So as customers buy from their favorite stores or whoever's participating, they're awarded points that they can then use for later savings and deals further down the line. So essentially, as long as the two are participating, both people are winning. Customers are getting deals and businesses are seeing that kind of growth in customer loyalty as customers are finding new reasons or incentives to come back and shop over and over again. And so essentially, we just want to help businesses take advantage of turning customers into loyal customers and seeing that growth in sales across the board as they do. Next slide. So who are our customers? So we are aiming to target small businesses. So we're targeting maybe things like startup product companies who are selling things for the first time, perhaps e-commerce stores, companies who are just selling online, and perhaps even those mom and pop stores that we all know and love that maybe our neighbor in the next town over has never even heard of. Typically, we're looking at businesses with perhaps less than 100 employees. Now, we're not turning down people or businesses if they have over, but that's the group of businesses our team feels would benefit most from our product being the easily accessible and very affordable product that it is. So how do we plan to target these folks? Well, most businesses, especially smaller ones these days, are using a lot of social media to interact with customers. A lot of them are conducting business there, forums, just generally interacting. And we felt that it would be effective for us to do the same, to kind of meet them where they are and to market ourselves through social media. So initially we'll be investing most of it in social media marketing, specifically through Facebook, because as we all know, Facebook is one of the most well-known social media platforms for people and even businesses. Next slide. So we'll get into a little bit of business financials for our product. As you can see, we have a relatively small operation. Which lends itself well to lower fixed cost, minus those business ones that you see there, which I'll get to in just a moment. So since we are a web application, our primary cost is keeping our app on the internet running and hosting. So that's where we get our $5 a month or $60 a year, as you see there. So for our project, our team has worked remotely and likely will continue to work remotely as it continues on and develops further, which means we aren't renting office space. We don't have a building, we're just working remote, which saves us cost there. And one of our biggest softwares for this project being WordPress, which you may or may not know is open source and free, also lends to lower costs for us. We aren't paying for that. Now, I included these business costs because should our product continue to develop and become an actual business, we'll have to face some legal fees with applying to actually be a legal business entity. So I included those in there as kind of a worst case financially, so to say, so what we would actually be paying in that case. And so then we have our variable costs. We have that Facebook marketing, like I mentioned earlier, which is how we'll be marketing for the most part. And then we have maintenance and upgrades, which are things like service capacity improvements or server speed improvements or any additional services we'd like to add. So if you look at the bottom, that comes up to a little under $1,500 a year, which puts our break even to about 5-year-long subscriptions, or in other words, perhaps 9 half-year-long subscriptions, which our team thinks is very doable and very realistic. So next we'll look at some revenue stuff. So here I included a 3-year forecast of our sales for our product. As you can see at the top, we have, at least in the first year, what we anticipate, at least 20 businesses willing to jump on board with us and partner with our application. And with each of those coming in, it's a year-long subscriptions of $360 a year. We get that $7,200. You can follow the expenses all the way down there. You see the business license fee I included is only in the first year, because at least for the state of Texas, that fee is one time. So we'll see that in the first year, and then the insurance fees continue on in years 2 and 3. And then you can follow it all the way down, and we take out those operating expenses, and we get a solid $5,755 in year 1 with steady growth in years 2 and 3. So for our revenue model, we chose a subscription model of $30 a month. We think it's fitting of our purpose as being an affordable and accessible option to small businesses, as well as subscription revenue being recurring revenue, which in terms of revenue models is one of the more stable ones that we find. So as long as we're doing a good job at keeping a stable business customer base, we can expect regular cash inflows, which you can then use to expand a product, market it even more, and continue on. So thank you guys for listening to my business talk. I think I'll pass it over to Blake, who will begin our IT section of the presentation.
Hi, my name is Blake Stutz, and I'm with the information technology part of my team. Today, I'm going to tell you a bit about our cloud services and our backup plan. So believe it or not, the only part of cloud services we use is going to be Amazon AWS powered by a Lightsail instance. Early on in the semester, we were going to use a database and connect it to our web application to store data and our information, but ultimately we decided to scrap that idea and just go with the built-in storage system that WordPress gives us to store our information. Moving forward, ultimately, we're probably going to create something more separate and secure for future purposes, but that's just what we're going with for right now. Can you go to the next slide? For a backup plan though, again, we're only using Lightsail. We have Lightsail set to create a snapshot daily. This allows us to perform a rollback if we need to. If anything goes down, we can perform a rollback without losing too much data. That wraps up my portion. I'm gonna pass it on to Priscilla to talk about our backend services.
Hello, everyone. My name is Priscilla. I'm the second member of our IT team. So I'm going to talk about a little bit how we're making Tommorrow's rewards function and what services we're using on the back end. So, and even kind of briefly talk about some future enhancements and possibilities to improve our application. So with our database, we started to just connect our Amazon Lightsail instance to the MySQL dashboard, which was basically like to download MySQL to our desktop and connect it from the endpoints. But we actually, as the semester went on, our team kind of figured out that we can actually access MySQL directly through WordPress. So that was really cool for us to figure out and learn. And so another thing we kind of came across is how do we manage these MySQL database with WordPress? So basically WordPress is a PHP application that runs on a web server and database. For the web server, it runs on the Amazon Lightsail instance. And then for the database, we're using MySQL. So WordPress uses a PHP language, and it basically stores and retrieves data from the MySQL database. And then so basically we have to install my PHP admin and the software, and then create an SSH tunnel to get directly to the server. And then that's how we view and manage our database through WordPress. And then for like future reference of trying to better implement our application, we're going to focus on tokenizing the reward system. And I'll let Jason get more into that on the next slide.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jason O'Brien, and I am the final IT speaker of the semester. It's pretty exciting. So there are some issues with the point system we currently have. The points can be used at any store. However, that creates some issues, right? The points definitely need to be segregated between the different stores if we're going to continue using this system. But there are some other options for us. But let me go over the problem real quick. Let's say we have store A, where products are cheap, and store B, where products are expensive. Store A is most likely going to have a lot of customers and hand out a lot of points. Store B, on the other hand, has high prices and premium products, and most likely due to this is going to have less customers. If someone with their multitude of points earned at store A decides they now have enough points to get a discount at store B, it's not really promoting more business for store B until someone wants to use their points there. So the short-term solution is kind of costly. There are plugins for WordPress that have the features we're looking for, but they run about $100 a month to $1,000 a year. Another option we could take advantage of, we could easily create some ERC20 tokens for each individual store, and they could use those to reward, to their customers. However, high traffic on the Ethereum network for now makes this kind of unrealistic. The transaction fees are extremely high. In the end, I think the long-term solution to our problem will be to tokenize the reward system by cloning and improving an existing blockchain technology. The rationale behind using a clone of an already existing coin or token and creating a new cryptocurrency is that basically it would be listed on an exchange and from speculation have a correlating monetary value, thereby negating the need to segregate the points at all the stores. So if the points have a real life monetary value, then using points gained at store A at store B would not lose store B any money, as they could exchange for fiat instantly, or they could just hold on to them. Nano, one of the candidates for cloning, is a feeless, almost instantly transferred cryptocurrency. Feeless is a big deal. We don't want to cost our customers more money. We want to make them more money. So in order to accomplish all of this, we would have to take a deep dive into blockchain technology, specifically Nano, to better understand how it works, how we can improve it. We would also have to create a wallet where the crypto could be stored and transacted from, work on having it listed on exchanges, and much more. I'm probably going to begin researching this as soon as this semester's over. Thank you guys, and I'm going to pass it on to the CS team now.
So my name is Mariela, and I'm in charge of part of the CS portion. And I'm going to be talking about the software we use, which in order to make everything work, we focus more on plugin use for the functionality in general. So the first plugin I'm going to talk about is Dokkan. This was a really useful plugin because of how it works with online orders in general. It allows really good order confirmation, which they come out with the following attributes like the order number, total amount, etc. And as you can see, one of the things that it displays is a delivery date. The issue with this might be that delivery dates are approximations, and these approximations tend to be really accurate, but in case that something happens where your chosen delivery service has a problem or anything sets them back, then you want to be able to notify your customer. You can tell them your product is going to be late. And Dokkan allows for front-end shipping tracking, which many other plugins lack. So with this, you can tell your customer, you can explain to them why it's going to be late, and that just makes your service better. Another benefit is that it has a short code manager. So this allows you to input a small piece of code indicated by brackets as portrayed right there. And it'll perform a function without you having to write really detailed code. You can just place it anywhere among your code to add specific features without having to go into that deep dive of Elementors or having to go in depth with HTML or whatever other mobile app is programmed with. And now, next slide, please. Now I will move on to talk about WooCommerce, which is actually what powers Dokkan. And this is really important because it is for multiple vendors. So a single person might set up a WordPress and have everything paid, but they will only be able to sell items themselves, like as a single vendor. But our goal is to have multiple vendors. So this next plugin is really important. The next part involves security, which WooCommerce actually works with security experts. And one would think that it's not too safe because it's popular, but because it's popular, it has more security experts on that part since they want everything to not be hacked. And also it has really affordable extensions. We want to be able to add things every now and then as we progress. So this is the one with the most affordable extensions. And finally, it has built-in analytics, which makes finances for vendors way easier to predict. And I'll let Jalen do our demo.
Hello, my name is Jalen, and I'll be going over doing a quick demonstration of how our Tommorrow Rewards program works. And here we are on our home screen. I have my phone loaded up on the right side and the back end loaded up over here. And so here at the bottom right, you can see the little program we have, Tommorrow's Rewards. Click on it, loads it up. We have our homepage here. We'll go ahead and click on the Get Started. So you see right here, we get 5 points on a successful sign up. We'll come down here to the register and do a vendor. And you see it gives us a few more things to input. So we'll go ahead and do the email, password, first name. We'll call this one dogs. And then it'll automatically fill that in for the URL. For phone number, we'll go ahead and, yeah. And then we'll go ahead and register for our account. And so this is the Docon plugin. With this plugin, this is where we'll be able to create products and share them and, you know, be able to sell. We'll go ahead and get started with this. Go ahead and fill up all our information, just random stuff. Yeah, here we go. And we'll show the email just to show more of the features. Here we also have the banking information we can put in, but we're not going to do it right now for the sake of demonstration. So we'll just skip this one. So now our store has been set up and we can just go ahead and go there now. And so you see our analytics page, we have the completed, pending, processing, canceling, all this stuff. We have all this information. And we'll click on the little hamburger menu, products, and then we'll go ahead and start to add our products. So you see we have this nice little interface where we can give out all of our, let's just go ahead and start. So we can import an image of dogs. Let's see, photo library. We'll go ahead and add a dog. And so we'll go ahead and add that to the gallery. And so we'll give this one a random price and select the category. You can add random categories whenever you get in, and we'll create our product. I always forget the name. Dog. So we'll go ahead and create our product. Creating our product. Now you see right here, it says editing product. It says pending review. It's pending review because this is a new vendor. We don't want a new vendor coming in and just doing whatever they want to on our site. And so whenever it does that, all we would have to do is come over here to the product section and look at all of our products. And we can see where the new item that we just put on here is pending. And so we would click on this and then just go ahead and publish it for them. It'll publish. There we go. Yeah, so it's published now. And so now when you see over here, all you have to do is just come over and refresh it. And now you can see it says view product online. And so now since it's online, all we would have to do is come over here, go to vendors, and then you can see all of the stores we have. We only have 2 stores right now, but we'll click on the one that we just created. So here's our store. We have the whole layout, have everything here. Information if you want to contact them and anything. So now we'll go ahead and click on the product that we just created, and we'll add it to cart. You see we can add our reviews, do everything for it. So we'll go ahead and add it to cart. And you know, previously we had 5 points, right? But when we go here and check out, we can add our points here. 5 points is equivalent to about $1.67. So we'll come over here and apply, let's say 3 points. And if you see down here at the bottom, that removed about $1 off of our purchase. So come here, input our information again. Random. And then we have our dummy credit card information. And go ahead and place that order. Now for demonstration purposes, each point is $1 just so it'd be easier to understand the process. But in the future, we do plan on changing the algorithm a little bit. Wait for that to purchase. Okay, so we have it purchased right here. Now, like I said, this is a new account, a new vendor account. So we do monitor a lot of stuff. And so whenever you do have a new purchase, we are in control of like actually handling the payments. So you see right here, it's on hold. But what we can do is come in and hit completed. You see all the information, everything, and we'll just hit completed. And now the order has been complete, $11. And so now when we come back over here, we had how many points? We had 5 points. And then out of those 5 points, we spent 3. So we should have had 2. And now we just got 11 points back. So we should have about 13 points. And so we have our 13 points, and we can use this in any store. And so that pretty much does it for the functionality, as in the different vendors that we can set up and the points earned. And that will do it for the demonstration. I will now come back to the PowerPoint. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to ask.
I had a question for Priscilla. I was wondering if there was any, like, since you are dealing with banking and sensitive information, if you had to deal with any like cybersecurity risks, or how did you take that when like developing this this application?
So dealing with like cybersecurity, like as far as protecting our vendors and customers.
Yeah.
We haven't technically even, we're worried about that quite yet, but I think as far as like just making sure our customers and vendors are safe from, people online trying to hack and things like that, I think just kind of building a plan just to kind of set up our vendors first, make sure they're not putting out counterfeit items and things like that, and making sure all the information that when customers do come and buy those things, that is not invalid information. So making sure that's not fake credit cards or PayPal accounts and things of sorts, kind of just things like that, not selling fake products, or like I say, vendors coming in and selling fake products and doing things wrong to customers coming in and buying stuff. So kind of like eBay, where, you come in and you get things, and then they make sure that everyone, if anything kind of like bad happens, they make sure that someone's held accountable for it, or it's on eBay. So kind of like on us, making sure our customers are protected with our own team.
And just to kind of add on to that as well, though, WooCommerce actually handles most of the payment options. So they're actually handling all the security for that. We also have, HTTPS certificates on our site, which will help as well. But most of the security there is going to be handled by WooCommerce.
All right, thank you.
I have to address Dr. Shoemaker. He said, is it publishing products on all vendors' pages? No, sir. No. I pull it up right quick if you want to see. Yeah. Let me share my screen again. Okay, so when you hear and you look at the vendors, you have the dogs and you have her Mariella's food place. So this is her page right here. This is her store. And then you can come back and then come back to our store. So yeah, I just want to address that right quick. Thank you.
So I have a question, and I guess this is more CIS oriented since I am a CIS major, but I do want to ask, in terms of, I guess, saving money, how does your platform different than, let's say, Swagbucks or the app Honey, where you use that platform and that also saves you money?
Yeah, that's a good question. One of the biggest differences, I think, for our product from the other ones, and I'm not too familiar with the ones that you mentioned, but there are some others as well, is kind of who we're going for, and so who we're trying to target. And so I think just passing on the savings to the businesses that are willing to partner with us, that was kind of also how we got to our pricing point as well. We wanted to save, we wanted to not price, too unfairly for what it is, and be able to make it accessible to small businesses, so that when they do, decide to partner with us, they will receive however many fold back in the customer, ideally the customers that would come and be incentivized to come and shop with them again.
I have a
Thank you.
question. Like, I'm not totally sure who I should pose this to, but do you have any plans to produce an app? I noticed it was mostly a web app. Do you have any plans to make native applications for that?
We actually do. It's just right now what we were focusing on were plugins, and we realized everything else, like to actually turn it into more, it was really expensive due to the plugins we needed. But that's why Jason mentioned the blockchain that we were going to use in the future. So that was our aim.
Yeah, hopefully in the future we would be able to integrate the entire hub that is Tommorrow's Reward with the wallet, where you could store and transact the cryptocurrency that you would be using as a reward, right? Most of the time when people are investing in a cryptocurrency, or some new coin is coming out, people are usually they'll have what's kind of like an IPO. They'll call it an ICO, initial coin offering. But there's a lot of implications with that regarding like legal things. So most likely we're going to be giving the stuff away through some sort of faucet only for businesses that link with us. And then probably showing them how to work exchanges so they could get the whole thing going. But anyways, any other questions?
Well, if there are no other questions, we thank you guys for listening and patiently.
Okay.
It's been a fun semester, everyone.